So in today's video, we are looking at Immutable X, the first layer 2 for NFTs built on Ethereum. Now, what they're aiming to do from a high level, and this is important, is be the catalyst to help shift the value when it comes to game design. Okay, typically, you're following me here on the screen here, game developers, publishers, okay, they go ahead and they create an item, they send it to players. Players go ahead and spend money to buy the item, and it's all kept within that ecosystem. But what the future is of blockchain gaming is this on the right. So everything's going everywhere. Okay, you have the game developers creating an item. The players go ahead and do play to earn tokens and rewards. They can go ahead and transact that for cash. They can go ahead and participate in a community DAO. So the thing is that the game developers and the community all collectively own a stake in the game. Okay, it isn't just all the cash is going to the developers and players are losing out. It's more of an ecosystem for players. Okay. Now, when we look at the overall gaming market cap, these are just some trends. It's estimated to be about $217 billion in the year 2023. And on top of that, if we look at NFTs, which are a core component of these games, right? All the items that you're buying and creating and trading and selling within their markets are NFTs. Those are also on a little bit of a surge upward. Okay. So real quick, my name's Ryan, No Autopilot YouTube channel. I've created a Patreon. If you want to go ahead and follow with my trades that I make, buying into things, selling out of things, for $5 a month, you can go ahead and get that access. In addition, if there's a token you want me to do a deep dive on, you get unique voting power for that to happen if you're a Patreon supporter. My claim to fame is doing deep dives into tokens, meme coins, community coins, legit projects, whatever the community wants. I do deep, thorough research on them that you're not going to find anywhere else on YouTube. So consider liking, subscribing to the channel. We'd welcome you to be a member of our community. So, when we talk about the key challenges for blockchain gaming to really take off, it always comes back to this blockchain trilemma. Okay, you have the decentralization balanced against scalability and balanced against security. And you can tighten one of these, right? You can get it improved, you can get it better. But the challenge is that one of them is going to kind of fall by the wayside a little. And so when we look at some of the biggest challenges facing blockchain gaming from taking off, especially on Ethereum, and you guys probably already know this is coming. We could talk about speed, right? Ethereum has a low transaction throughput relative to some of the other options out there. High fees, the environmental impact right now, the cost for developers to kind of get into blockchain gaming and get that all sorted, limits in game design, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so there's a lot of challenges. Enter Immutable X. So Immutable X launched just in November, so it's a relatively new protocol. And we're going to be pulling up a white paper here, boys. So if this gets boring, I'm sorry, but this is where the juicy stuff is. Okay, so on Ethereum, it's 5 to 15 transactions per second. Okay, and they do that on purpose to maintain a high security level. But the high demand on Ethereum has caused those gas prices to go up. In addition to that, you have the poor user experience of folks engaging with it who aren't familiar with blockchain technology, managing wallets. You have developers who are trying to create these cryptocurrency games who have to learn all these additional systems and coding languages, and then go ahead and turn around and institute it and execute it in their own games at a secure level, right? Without risking everybody's funds. And then there's challenges when it comes to liquidity as well, when you go to buy and sell and trade assets. So Immutable X is building a zero gas fees, instant trades, carbon neutral NFT marketplace for games and applications without compromise. Build and scale your NFT or game business within hours with our APIs. So there's some deep tech going on here I'm not going to pretend to be the end all be all. Feel free to look this up if you want to do additional research into yourself. But from what I understand, they've created a unique, new to market technology to go ahead and do roll ups. Go ahead and take bulks of transactions, analyze them for authenticity, and pass them through for execution while keeping the original security that's associated with Ethereum. Normally, when you go to a level 2 chain or something like that, as we mentioned in that trilemma, if you want to be faster, you got to lose a little bit on the security or vice versa. And they found a way to go ahead and address some of that. Now, when we look at NFT scaling solutions, which in essence is what Immutable X is attempting to do, you have Tron, Flow, and EOS, which are blockchains that are built to kind of compete against Ethereum. But all of them kind of have their shortcomings here and there. Then you look at level 2 solutions like Polygon Matic or Ronin, which is Axie Infinity's sidechain that they created themselves because they were so challenged with Ethereum's high fees and slow response time. And then also state channels like Ophidian and Radian. So optimistic rollups is kind of what they're targeting right here. The advantage of an optimistic rollup is that they easily support general computation. You're able to copy paste your mainnet Solidity code. So in essence, it's making it very, very simple for folks to go ahead and use Immutable X almost like a infrastructure piece to their game, to their NFT collection, to be faster, reduce speeds at AAA type game scale. Okay, massive, massive scale. So here's a whole bunch of the games that are currently on Immutable X. We have Gods Unchained, Guild of Guardians, a few others. Of course, we want to take a look at that founding team. Here's the beautiful faces right here. Most of them have a deep experience within cryptocurrency, and some of them, surprise, surprise, for like once out of the last 10 videos that we looked at, actually have gaming experience within their core leadership team, such as Clay, who's the Gods Unchained game director. Now, the next thing I like to look at is the open roles. Because if they're hiring a bunch of people, one, that costs a lot of money. Someone gave them some money, trusting, hoping that they're going to go ahead and turn around and magnify the returns. But then two, it shows you that they're building for something. And just let's scroll through this slowly together. They have a ton of job openings. Okay, we are very early when it comes to X. Now, I went ahead and pull up the social media stuff. This isn't that big of a deal to me. You know, if we're looking at a meme or a community coin, that's a little bit of a bigger deal, but 190,000 followers. They do tweet regularly. They do have a dense, I'm talking deep tech, dense Medium page. I read through some of these articles. I've been covering cryptocurrency for since early 2021, and even some of it went over my head, which I actually like. Like, I want to be challenged. I want to be able to learn more. And their team's doing some really impressive things. When I had to pull up their Reddit, 5.2 thousand members, not a ton, but for an actual techie tech crypto project, not shabby either. And it is pretty active. The folks in here are pretty communicative. Now, I kind of layer this thing in here, and this is a little bit of candy, all right? This is a little bit of sweetness. But in essence, IMX, Immutable X, current token price is $2.68. And if we compare that to another scaling solution in Polygon Matic, the market cap, right, it does like all the math on the back end comparison, would equal around $49.71 if Immutable X had the market cap of Polygon Matic. Now, Polygon Matic did launch in 2019, and they did have a long drought period before they kind of went ahead and took off. They do also have 10,000 million billion, 10 billion max supply, with 75% of that in circulation today. Comparing that to Immutable X, 10,000 million billion, 2 billion tokens, only 9% in circulation. So there are some, grayness when you do a comparison like that. But in terms of scaling solutions, I thought it was apt. I thought it was fair. Now I pulled up Into the Block. Into the Block is a tool that I use to do deep research into network analytics. Something that stood out to me is the network growth. I pronounced it finally. Is showing bullish. Okay, 2% bullish. And I think what that's coming from is the total address growth. Okay, so this thing launched back in November, and since then, the addresses are just going and going and going. That's interesting. Now, they also have Immutable Scan, which kind of does like a Etherscan type evaluation of their own blockchain. And this is showing you the top collections that they're managing right now, the 7-day volumes, 30-day volume, 90-day volume, and the total trade volume. And so there's actual games that are seeing the potential in using Immutable X to solve some of those concerns around transaction cost and speed and security, and have it up and running live now. Okay, this isn't like a what if one day we had a solution that could, make all these challenges go away? Would you buy it? This is something that's actually up running right now. John Biggs, play to earn. Yeah, baby. So when we look at partners, I'm a big follower of venture capital firms. My thought process here is that they've done a lot of due diligence prior to giving money to these projects. Not guaranteed, but giving probability in their favor that the protocol is going to go ahead and do well long term. And the big one that stands out to me is Coinbase Ventures. Now, when we talk about the token's utility, so what is the IMX token actually used for? So fees, so 20% of Immutable's protocol fee must be paid in IMX tokens. You can go ahead, you can also stake those tokens. In conjunction, you can also use it to participate in their decentralized governance, which is awesome to see. We cover a lot of these projects that don't have a decentralized governance process in place. And in essence, it just leads the founders to do whatever they want. And I think the conscious effort that Immutable X seems to be attempting here into putting that governance into their token holders' hands, really admirable. Great. We already covered the token supply of 2 billion. This goes ahead and gives you a detailed breakdown into the allocation and where those are going. Another thing that I like, and I could be like the dissenting opinion here, but I like that 51% of those tokens are going to the ecosystem development. Because if you don't have capital to go ahead and develop your protocol, its long-term growth is going to be stunted. And I think they've done a great job breaking that out. What else do we have? There are some systems in place where you can go ahead and earn daily rewards. We'll talk about it a little bit later in the video, but they do also have developer grants that they're working on, kind of helping bootstrap up-and-coming projects, help get them off the ground. And they do have a vesting schedule here. So you can pull up this white paper and you can see exactly from each stage of the project what that unlock cliff looks like, its length, and its frequency. So again, a ton of transparency and upfrontedness, if that's a word, reviewing the token. Now, when we talk about markets, so compared to some of the other projects we looked at, right? It's already listed on Coinbase. It's already listed on Binance. So right off the bat, okay, this thing launched in November. Right off the bat, you know that some due diligence have been done on these folks, and they pass snuff, at least when it comes to being a scam or folks who are trying to take advantage of people. Let's talk about some news. So Gary Vaynerchuk went ahead and launched a book NFT series, a massive book NFT series. And he and his team actually used Immutable X to go ahead and manage the creation and distribution of those NFTs. Now, they also went ahead, and this is back in October, they announced a token split. The reasoning behind that sounds like they just want to make it easier for folks to go ahead and engage with the token. So instead of using 0.0045 to buy an NFT, just kind of simplifying it and making it a higher integer. Now, this I thought was also interesting. So, Huboy, I'm probably pronounced that wrong. Huboy Ventures, which is a cryptocurrency exchange based out of Asia, went ahead and put some of their venture capital funds into Immutable X, and they paid $10 per token, okay, which will be unlocked linearly over 6 months. $10 per token, which kind of tells you what they're expecting from this token in terms of pricing. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, right? Over 50% of projects that VC firms back end up returning less money than they make, but it does kind of tell you what they were thinking. And again, if we were to buy in right now, it's $2.67. So it's a nice steep discount. Quick pause for comments. And Dash, positive project so far. I know. It's not a crappy coin. How about that? Old Bear. I picked up a bit of IMX last week. Smart, man. You're ahead of me. John Biggs, Gods Unchained is a fun card game. I earned 22 God tokens in just 3 weeks, plus NFT cards I traded for ETH on Immutable X. Played 1 to 2 hours a day. Hey, you guys are ahead of the curve. You guys are ahead of me with this. Also, for Gods Unchained, I'm thinking we need to do a video on that. I think we need to do a video on that. Okay, what do we miss? We talked about the community grants. Through their DAO, they do have a portion of their assets being put out and voted on to support up-and-coming projects and proposals. I believe that's managed through their Discord right now, the voting aspect. So that's cool. I thought this is just kind of nice. You know, you don't always see this. They have a mutable employee trading policy. In essence, they don't allow their employees to influence the markets and pump the price, pump the projects that they're working on or about to work on. So just kind of a classy move. See what else we got. I think covered it, right? Oh, last thing here. So Vitalik Buterin, and he's mentioned this in some of his Medium articles, some of the interviews that he's done, is that layer 2 scaling is the future of Ethereum, right? So Ethereum is, in terms of a blockchain, has the largest amount of developers, largest amount of network effects, and layer 2 technology is critical to Ethereum, in essence, being able to scale with the ongoing demand for their blockchain. And so I think Immutable X is uniquely positioned to go ahead and target blockchain gaming as well as NFTs. And as we saw in some of the metrics I pulled up earlier, gaming is only expected to blow up. NFTs are only expected to blow up. And so this gives us a unique opportunity to pick up a piece of infrastructure, right? So it's not a game that maybe will fall apart and die, or maybe it'll do well, but it's an actual infrastructure piece that hundreds of games are going to be built off of, right? So instead of you going to the gas pump to get some gas, it's like you owning the oil well, right? At least that's how I'm trying to think about it. So anyways, long story short, I love Immutable X. I will likely add it to my blockchain gaming portfolio, and I am really, really, really excited to see how this project progresses. Yeah, I like it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, did I miss anything? Was the review epic? Also, let me know what token we should review next. You know, if there's a token that's top of mind for you that you want me to cover on this channel, go ahead and hit it in the comments down below. Whatever gets the most upvotes, we'll likely cover in a future. So there you go. There you have it. Immutable X. I like it. I like it a lot.